This is Trash Can Tidbits.
Hey everyone, Beatin' the Raccoon here, present and accounted for, to bring you another fun installment of Trash Can Tidbits. Last week, I asked the trivia question, which Hollywood actress's name is contained in the title of Stephen King's original novella that became The Shawshank Redemption? The answer is Rita Hayworth. The full title of King's novella is Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption. The title was eventually shortened to just The Shawshank Redemption because people assumed it was going to be a biopic about Rita Hayworth. With that said, let's get started with fact number 1. Did you know that Tim Burton had originally intended to use a ghostly chorus in his movie Sweeney Todd the Demon Barber of Fleet Street? The songs, to be sung by the ghosts, would have echoed the way it was done in the Broadway show, and he eventually employed the likes of actors such as Christopher Lee and Anthony Head, among others. Unfortunately, the songs and the ghosts were ultimately removed because Burton felt it made the film feel too theatrical. Anthony Head, also known for playing Giles on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and later starred in Repo, the Genetic Opera, still makes a cameo in the movie as the gentleman in the barber face-off scene who asks Johnny Depp if he has an establishment of his own. Personally, I'm still kind of disappointed by that move because The Ballad of Sweetie Todd is an amazing opening song, and it would have been absolutely wonderful to showcase Christopher Lee's singing voice. And it's sad that he never got to sing on screen in his entire career. He had a wonderful voice. Fact 2. Did you know that the video game Medal of Honor Rising Sun was originally intended to have a sequel? In the game, you play as a soldier named Joseph Griffin, who goes on a variety of missions following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. The game effectively ended with a cliffhanger in which his twin brother, Donnie, was kidnapped by Japanese forces. The next game would have seen you play as Donnie, but unfortunately, this sequel was cancelled due to lackluster sales. However, in the ending to the PSP game, Medal of Honor Heroes, it's revealed that Joe raided several POW camps and was successful in rescuing his brother. Fact 3. Did you know that Dame Judi Dench's appearance in the Cats movie wasn't just the first time a woman had played the role of Old Deuteronomy, but it's also not the first time she's been associated with this musical. Back in the early 80s, Dame Judi was set to play the role of Grisabella the Glamour Cat in the original London production of Cats, but she unfortunately broke her leg during rehearsals, rendering her unable to play the role. The role instead went to Elaine Paige, who had already starred in Andrew Lloyd Webber's previous musical, Evita, and went on to play it in the 1998 movie. It wouldn't be until decades later that Dame Judi would return to Cats playing a different role in this movie as the leader of the Jellicle Cats. Fact 4. Did you know that Broadway actress Betty Buckley has been involved with 2 adaptations of Stephen King's novel, Carrie? She played the gym teacher, Ms. Collins, in the movie version, where she was very sympathetic to the title character. And she also starred as Carrie's mother, Margaret, in the short-lived Broadway musical in the early 80s. While the original Broadway production of Carrie has gone down in history as one of the worst musical flops of all time, the scenes in which Buckley appeared have been critically praised. More ironically, both of the characters that she played met horrible ends by the title character. Fact 5. Did you know that only 2 sets of 2 people have won the Oscar for Best Director? For West Side Story, it was the first time that 2 men had won, Robert Wise and Jerome Robbins, despite the fact that Robbins was fired before filming had even finished. It was thought that this feat would never be repeated due to Academy guidelines, but when No Country for Old Men was released in 2008, the Academy made an exception for the Coen brothers. This is because Joe Coen and Ethan Coen are an established directing team. Fact 6. Did you know that former child actor Trevor Morgan made appearances in 2 movies about dinosaurs? He first appeared as Cody, one of the 3 kids who goes on a big adventure with a certain purple dinosaur in Barney's Great Adventure, the movie. And he later appeared as Eric Kirby, who gets to be chased by dinosaurs in Jurassic Park 3. Coincidentally, a clip of Barney appears in the latter film towards the end of the movie. Fact 7 goes out to my friend from across the pond, Regda. Did you know that The Road to El Dorado was intended to follow up with sequels? Each movie would have involved the main characters, Miguel, Tulio, Chell, and even Altivo the horse, going on further adventures seeking out other legends of gold. Unfortunately, the movie didn't perform well at the box office and further sequels were scrapped. So they got the Shrek movies instead. Fortunately, though, for the movie's 20th anniversary, me and Regda did a cover version of one of the songs. It's Tough to Be a God. I'll put a link down below so you could go listen to it. Fact 8. Did you know that the characters in Star Fox were designed to operate like puppets? In fact, the box art for the original SNES game has a puppet version of Fox McCloud on it. This is due to Shigeru Miyamoto being a big fan of Thunderbirds, an adventure TV show from the 60s that was performed with special puppets. This homage is apparent in the way the characters speak and the way their mouths move. You know, after this revelation, I kind of want to see a Star Fox TV series or something that has that kind of puppet technology. I think it'd be pretty fun. Fact 9. Did you know that a famous exchange between the characters of Dr. Alan Grant and Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park was inspired by a real-life conversation between Steven Spielberg and one of the dinosaur animators? The movie was originally going to use stop-motion puppets for the dinosaurs, and special effects pioneer Phil Tippett was hired by Spielberg to create stop-motion dinosaurs during pre-production of the movie. Sometime later, though, Spielberg was convinced to go with full CGI to create all the full-size dinosaurs. And after Tippett saw the footage, he reportedly declared to Steven Spielberg, "I'm out of a job." To which Spielberg replied, "Don't you mean extinct?" Spielberg liked this exchange, and it was inserted into the movie. Fortunately, too, for Tippett, he was not fired and ended up staying on the movie using a special model or puppet to control the CGI dinosaurs. Fact 10. Did you know that the first Fatal Frame video game is the only game in the series that has the "based on a true story" label attached to it? Of course, the game is not based on a true story. The developers simply used that as a marketing ploy for the US release. However, there are Japanese urban legends and ghost stories that did inspire certain events of the series, but the overall series is not based on a true story, at least not to my knowledge. No word on a special camera that can actually exorcise ghosts. At least, not yet. And here's this week's trivia question. Sir Anthony Hopkins has been inextricably linked to the character of the deranged but brilliant Dr. Hannibal Lecter. He played the character in 3 movies, The Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, and Red Dragon. The Hannibal series has continued in a prequel movie and even a TV show. However, Hopkins is not the first actor to play the man-eating Dr. Lecter. My question to you is, which acclaimed British actor was the first Dr. Hannibal Lecter, and what was the name of the movie? And there we go for this week. I hope I gave you some good variety for this week. Next week, however, will be something very different. What do you think it is? Well, I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with a certain reveal that I did in my New Year's video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell for future video notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.